All right, so let's begin the show.
Sure.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful morning to come together and talk about something that impact all of us, financial planning that truly works. I'm Kanhaiya Jha, leading admission and marketing at International College of Financial Planning, ICFP, a proud part of Bajaj Capital Limited. Today, we are diving into a crucial topic, goal-based planning, a win-win for wealth management advisors and clients. And to guide us through this, we have an extraordinary expert with us, Mr. Vibu Venkat. Vibu is a certified financial planner with over 25 years of leadership experience across top multinational organizations in India and Dubai. But here what makes his journey even more inspiring. After a successful corporate career, Vibu followed his passion for personal finance. Over the past decade, he has not only built and managed his own investment portfolio, achieving a phenomenal 3x plus return, but has also a trusted advisor to HNI clients seeking a smart financial strategy. Beyond his role as an investment and advisor, Vivo is deeply committed to mentoring aspiring CFPs and play a key role in driving outreach initiative for ICP across South and East India. We are truly honored to have him here today. Vivo sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Now the stage is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Kanaya, as usual, for a very lovely introduction. Good morning to all. So before we actually get into this session, I want to start the session with a very two quick questions. Okay, I just need you guys to answer yes or no. Okay, in the chat box, just answer yes or no. Okay. In the last 1 month, have you all purchased any clothing material, merchandise like t-shirt, jeans, shirts from any of the online apps like Myntra or AGO? Please answer yes if you have done and no if you haven't. All right, all right, all right. I can see more of yes. Okay, I can see a lot of no also. Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, great. Okay, now the second question, again, a quick answer. Now, this is not the first question, but it is an extension of the first question. So the answer to this question will be different than what you had in the first question. So when you purchased your clothing merchandise in Myntra or AGO, you would have had the option at the time of closing the purchase if you want to convert the purchase into an EMI option, correct? So please put S if you took the EMI option and please put no if you have not taken the EMI option. Okay, okay. Ajit is saying yes, a lot of no is what I can see. Okay. So what is this concept of trying to get us into the EMI purchases even for very, very small purchases is nothing but just a second. The aspect of converting the small purchases into EMI, this concept is very, very popularly known as BNPL. What is BNPL? It's called buy now, pay later. Okay, for good things, it's always worth taking this EMI route. Even for the CFP certification, I took this buy now, pay later because it had a no interest thing, and also it was very useful for me in terms of what I was doing in my profession, right? So today we are going to see something which is opposite of this BNPL, which is called SNPL. Okay. Now, what is SNPL is called save now and pay later. What you're doing now is when you're buying a cloth and if you're buying it now, you're paying it later through the EMI. That's called BNPL. Now, what we are going to see is called SNPL, which is save now, pay later. And trust me, yeah, SIP now and pay later, or like save now or pay later. Like if you're doing SIP now is also it's you are saving now. That's very correct, handsome boy. I like the profile name, handsome boy. So the thing here is that what is this aspect of financial based goal planning? Trust me when I say this, it has got a huge potential in the market as of today because a lot of people are looking at this option in terms of how do they have to plan their life's goals, how do they have to go about achieving that, and there is a lot of interest which is coming from general public because your market financial investments and the market penetration and the awareness among the general public is growing a lot. So even if you are an investor of your own, and if you want to plan for some kind of a goal or some kind of a aspect for which it is due after 10 years or 15 years or even 7 years, whatever it is the time period from now, so you are beginning to save now, okay, and you are paying later. Now, you try to give this a mathematical form, you try to give this a structure, you try to give this some sense of direction using your knowledge of the market based instruments. Now, this is called goal based planning. So, today we are going to look a brief into how does this goal based planning works. Trust me, you guys are not going to believe when I say this. If as financial advisors, if you are able to strike the conversation between you and the client for just financial based planning, there is a lot of money which is available in the market today. There are people I know who for single calls for 1 hour, they discuss with clients, they charge even as high as 5,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, depending upon their profile, depending upon their experience which they bring to the table, because there is a huge demand in terms of how to go about this goal-based planning. Because in India, the market penetration is growing. So previously, people used to put RD, right, or FDs for their long-term goals. It's not the case anymore. People have understood that RDs and FDs are good to the level of emergency funds or whatever urgent need of money. But for long-term goals, which are like 7 years or 10 years away, you need a bit of financial planning, right? So there is a lot of, but then you cannot just kind of close your eyes and jump into this, right? So you need a guided approach to this. You need to be certified. You need to have the awareness of the market. You need to understand the volatilities of the market, the ups and downs of the markets, correct? You see what has happened in the market in the last 3 or 4 months. There is a lot of FII selling which was happening. But again, in this month, the market is rallying a lot. So now the market is almost covered up for all the losses of 2025. But what was the case before 3 or 4 months? If as an investor, if you were looking at it, you were kind of getting tensed. That is where you need to understand the market. That is where you need to have the knowledge of the products. That is where you need to understand your own goals. That is where you need to control your emotional thing and bring about that emotional balance that can come only when you have the knowledge, right? So let's kind of take a quick look into how does this goal-based planning work and why is it in such a demand. Trust me when I say this, there is a huge demand in the marketplace for goal-based planning, right? So even if you are an MFD, even if you are an investor of your own, even if you are an aspiring professional who wants to get into the profession of wealth management, it is relevant for any age group starting from 21 years till 60 years, 70 years, 80 years. Goal based planning, even for a person who is at 70 years old, he wants to have a goal that he wants to set up a philanthropical trust. He wants to set up something for his grandchildren. He wants to set up something for his village. He wants to set up something for the college where he studied. He wants to set up something for the school where he studied. So everyone has a goal. How do you plan that? There is a huge demand for this. Whether you are an investor or yourself, you will also have a lot of goals. You have a lot of aspirations, right? So this goal-based planning has become a very critical aspect in our day-to-day life from every dimension. So you can be anyone. This is important, right? You can be a surgeon also, even then it is important because even as a surgeon, you still have a life, right? So whether you are a surgeon, whether you are a data scientist, whether you are an astronaut, whether you are a professional athlete also. You see, Virat Kohli has a restaurant. A lot of people do invest into a lot of businesses, even if they are professional athletes also. So we need planning. We need planning of our money. It doesn't matter what is your profession now. So what is important today is we have to understand, define what are goals, and then we need to plan that by giving a financial dimension to it. And this can be done only when you have an understanding of the markets, when you have an understanding of the financial products, and when you have an understanding of the volatilities and the cyclical nature of market. Okay. So this is goal-based planning. This is the brief introduction about it. Now, what are the different goal-based planning? From an Indian context, I would say 90% of my goals are kind of into this. Like you can have some additional goals also, but if you see, it is about the higher education of the kids. People want to send them to the US, they want to send them to Europe, they want to send them to Australia, they want to send them to Singapore. For my own daughter, I wanted to send her to Singapore, but then like in the last minute, I withdrew that because we felt like Singapore is kind of going through a lot of pressure in terms of the foreign nationals not getting permit and all. But when we checked that the undergraduation course in National University of Singapore, which is called NUS, for a 4-year course, BBA, it was costing almost 1 crore rupees as of today's cost. 1 crore, including the tuition fee, including the staying there, and including the food and other stuffs. And like if she's traveling like once or twice a year. The good thing is she still did get a scholarship, but we still chose not to send her. She went and tried there for a couple of weeks, but she eventually came back because she couldn't kind of gel in the atmosphere. Why am I saying this is higher education of kids is not anymore that only the master's program people are wanting to send them to foreign. Even for the undergraduation, I see a lot of kids going abroad. They are going to Singapore, they are going to Europe, they are going to Australia, they are going to the US. US, although recently there is a lot of restriction. So how do you plan for this? Now you have to start early. So this is one goal. Okay, the goal is about like 14 or 15 years away or 10 years away. You start saving from, right? Marriage of kids in an Indian context, big fat wedding. I was reading an article before 2 or 3 weeks. The marriage industry in this marriage season now, after that December thingy got over, like once that month, that muhurt thing and all was there, it's estimated at about like $6 or $7 billion of a market. The Indian marriage market. People are wanting to do destination weddings. People are wanting to do a lot of you know bringing new aspects of dimensions and planning into marriage. There's a lot of things which is happening in marriage. So people want to plan for marriage, which in as of today's cost, when someone wants to do a destination wedding, it could cost somewhere between 50 lakhs to 1 crore, depending upon where you want to plan it. And today's kids, they are aspiring themselves to have a destination wedding. So this is becoming very important. Purchasing a home, purchasing a second home, purchasing a dream vehicle. Have you noticed the fact in the last 2 or 3 years, the prices of the small cars have gone from single digit to double digit? I-10 today is costing something in excess of 12 or 13 lakhs on road. I-20 is also costing some 14 or 15 lakh rupees. Maybe I-10 is 1 or 2 lakhs less, maybe around 10 to 11 to 13 lakhs or 11 to 12 lakhs. And I-20 is about 13 to 14 lakhs. The SUVs, Cretas of the world, Alcazars of the world, your XUV 700s of the world, those are becoming very aspirational. The MG Hectors of the world. Now you have a lot of vehicles which are not from the top league brand or the luxury brand like a BMW, Audi, or Mercedes Benz. You have a lot of vehicles from, your Skoda. You have a lot of vehicles from other brands like Tata Harrier. They are costing somewhere in excess of 25 to 30 lakhs on road, depending upon which city you live in. So people are aspiring to purchase vehicles. They want to increase their standard of living. They want to plan for that. Purchase of home. Everyone wants to have a home. They want to have a dream home. They want to have a interior decoration to it. And last but not the least, fire. What is fire? It is financially independent, retire early. Everyone wants to do a retirement plan, right? Because they begin to work at around like 23 or 25, but they want to retire at 45. Trust me on this. If you understand how to do retirement planning for someone, then your profession in this market can never be taken away from anyone. You just need to get hold of that initial entry to get to 5 or 10 clients to whom you can do this planning. Yeah, that's the toughest part. I agree. That's the toughest part. But once you set that up, once you give them the indication of how to plan the inflation, how to plan the future expenses, how to invest in the products, and how to do moving from one product to other product time to time, if you are able to understand and demonstrate this understanding initially with 5 or 10 clients, trust me, the word of mouth is going to take care of the rest. It might take 1 or 2 years to for you to be able to achieve reaching out to that 5 or 10 clients. I'm not saying that it's an overnight magic happening in life is, but if you are able to do that, then trust me, you don't have to be looking at any company to employ you. You can take your own MFT thing, and you can do, or without an MFT you can be just between the client and you can be an advisor. You don't even have to worry about what is the regulation, because you're not doing anything illegal here, because people who are the relationship managers in banks, are they RIA certified? No, they're not. So if you are an MFD, you are studying CFP, or you are about to expand your knowledge into these subjects through these certifications. So, retirement planning, purchasing a home, purchasing a vehicle, vacation planning. I'm not written it here. People want to take international vacations. They want to go around the world. They want to take a Euro-rail tour where they can travel to the different Schengen countries. They want to go to Swiss. They want to go here. They want to go to Far East. They want to go to Australia. Vacation these days are becoming expensive. So vacation planning is also a goal. So the goal planning, whatever is your age group and whatever is the level of money that you have, there is always a goal for it. Someone might have a goal of purchasing an Apple iPhone 16 Pro, which is costing around in excess of 1.5 lakh. Someone can even plan for that as a goal. So whatever is your size and whatever is your income, there is always a goal. Now, how do you realize it? How do you channelize it? How are you able to define it? Whether you see whether it's something necessary for you or not. It's a combination of all this in terms of how do you plan, right? So now we are going to look at what are SMART goals. Okay, I'm sure most of you had heard about this word called SMART goals. Now I am going to ask you guys, in terms of what is S in SMART. Can anyone say? Please put in the chat. We are talking about SMART goals. Yes, that is pretty correct. Handsome boy specific is correct. Beautiful. What is M in SMART goal? Yes, that is measurable. That is pretty right. Okay. Oh, wow. What is A in SMART goal? Achievable, attainable, accurate, okay, attainable, okay. Sir, after एक, you have gone one step. Kripavati, you have gone one step ahead. So you have gone to the realistic, which is the R of it. Yeah, realistic. Actually, it is realistic. It can also be relevant. Okay. So because we need to also have the relevance in terms of the goal. Now, what is the last letter T? Yes. T is the time bound aspect of it, which is how you have to define a goal which is having all the details. Now, let me try to define a SMART goal. I want to retire in 20 years from now. I need to plan for a monthly expense of 1 lakh with an inflation of 6%. My post retirement period is 25 years. Okay. So I want to retire in 20 years from now. I need to plan for a monthly expense of 1 lakh with an inflation of 6%. My post retirement period is for 20 years. Let's say I'm 40. I would like to retire at 60. I would like to plan my life till 85. I am not, my screen is not changing. What do you mean by my screen is not changing? Because I'm not in the PPT. I'm just only in the chat screen. Okay. So this is the definition of a SMART goal, right? So SMART goal, as you have rightly said, I'm very, happy that a lot of you have an understanding in terms of specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These are the SMART goals, right? So it's very popular. So I just wrote an example in the chat box of what is a SMART goal. So I want to retire at 60. I would like to maintain an expense of 1 lakh rupees per month. Yes, I understand there is an inflation. I want to plan for an inflation of 6%. I want to plan for a post-retirement period of 25 years. If you are able to get your client define this goal, or if you are your own investor, you are planning for yourself, as long as you are able to define this goal in a very, very specific format, right? Then 50% of the battle is won. If you are in financial advisory space, if you're able to get your client define this, because what is important for us is, this is when you are an advisor, it's not about your goal, it's about the goal of your client, it's about the aspirations of your client, it's about the dreams of your client, it's not your own goals, right? You can only be a guiding factor, you can only be a channelizing factor, but you need to make them define their goals. That is what is the success of you in a financial planning field that you can have. So if you are an investor on your own, also you need to be able to define your goals in a very smart way. And smart way is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and more. And the example I wrote in the chat screen is an example of a smart goal. So what is specific in that? The specificity is about the retirement. What is measurable? I want to retire in 20 years. I want to plan for 25 years post retirement. I want to plan for a monthly expense of 1 lakh rupees per month. I am willing to accept and plan basis a 6% inflation. All of this is measurable. What is achievable? It is not that my current expenses are only 20,000 rupees and I want to plan for 1 lakh. Or I am not having a plan where my current expenses are like, 5 lakh rupees and I want to do 1 lakh. So it should be something like, I should be able to achieve in terms of whether it is from going from here to here and not like from here to here also. So it should be something which is achievable. Only then it makes sense, right? Relevant. Whether it is relevant for me as a person who is at the age of 40 for me to plan this goal. Yes, that sense of relevance has to come. Do I need it? What's the necessity I have for it? What is the need quotient for me to have it? If you ask these questions to yourself, if you are able to politely ask these questions to your client, you cannot sit with the client and say that, sir, do you really need financial planning for your retirement? You cannot ask that. But how politely you can ask in terms of what is their current expense, how much are they willing, because some people, they might be living in a big city now, but they might want to go back to their native, they might want to go to a slower lifestyle post retirement. I have a lot of friends who have gone to Goa. I'm 46 years old now, so I have friends who are like 55, 54. So post their active life of professional life is they have been leading for like 20 years or so, they go and stay in Goa for 3 or 4 months in a year. So people want to plan different things. It depends upon their individual fantasies. It depends upon their individual dreams, their aspirations. So you need to get that out. And even for your own self, you should be able to define what is that you call it as a goal, and what is it that you are making your client define as a goal. Your success of being a good investor or your success of being a good professional defines largely on your ability to clearly communicate about these goals. Trust me on this. This is a profession which is never going to die, because no AI can take this away from you. No artificial intelligence machine can take this away from you, because I will have a client whose aspirations today is something, whose aspirations in 2 years will change. I will have 3 or 4 different clients depending upon the same client's age. At the age of 30, this client X is a different client. At the age of 45, he's a different client. At the age of 60, he's a different client. At the age of 70, he's a different client. His risk profile, his risk appetite, his aspirations, and his expectations towards money, they all change with age. So this is the beauty of financial advisory, that a single client can become a 4 client if you're able to sustain him or her over a longer period of time, because the risk profile and the personality of a person with regards to money, with regards to risk, with regards to dreams, with regards to aspirations, they change from one point of time to another point of time. If you're able to understand this, if you're able to crack this code, you need to have a very comprehensive understanding of products. You need to have a comprehensive understanding of the market. If you're able to crack this code, trust me, you are going to be very, very successful. Yeah. So what are the financial elements? So here is where you bring the financial elements. You put that mathematics into place. You discuss with your own self, or you discuss with your client in terms of the time horizon, whether this goal is due in like 10 years, 15 years, 7 years, 8 years. That is called the time horizon. Then you get into the aspect of What is the risk profile of the investor? Whether he's employed, whether he's doing his own business, if he's employed, how far his job is safe, whether he's in a business, how long he's been in the business, has it been sustainable, successful, is his income predictable? All of this is risk profile of an investor, which you need to understand. Like how you have your WhatsApp profile picture, right? Your WhatsApp profile picture, 80 to 90 percentage of the time is our own pictures, right? And everyone's WhatsApp picture is their own. So that's called a profile picture. The same is a risk profile. So your risk is different from my risk. Krishan's risk is different from Kanaya's risk. And it's likewise. Every person has their own risk profile depending upon your age, depending upon your net worth, depending upon your income, depending upon the nature of your employment, whether you're working somewhere, whether you're at your own business, and even if you're working somewhere, how long you are there, that all decides your risk profile. Asset rebalancing. What is asset rebalancing? Lot of people miss this. Trust me, lot of people miss this. Let's say I want to send, let's say I want to send my kid to a foreign education in another 10 years. Okay. Although my daughter is much older than that, but I'm just trying to give you as an example. Okay. So the current cost of that program, let's say, is about the total cost is about like 1 crore. Okay. But I want to send after 10 years. Okay. So I plan for SIP, or I plan for basis some kind of a lump sum investment. Okay. So I have 10 years of timeline, which is the time horizon. I understand my risk profile depending upon my net worth. So I choose to invest into, let's say, a mid cap fund, okay, or a large and mid cap fund. Let's say, okay. So I just invest into a HDFC large and mid cap fund, or a key Kotak equity opportunities fund, or a pure mid cap fund like your Kotak. You have a lot of Kotak funds. You have a lot of funds which are there, which are very good funds in mid cap also. So let's say I choose to do a large and mid cap or a mid cap fund for this goal. Okay. But can I keep investing only into the same fund, which is a mid cap fund, until the very end? Because my daughter or my kid is going to go for this education, which is in another 10 years. Let's say the kid education starts in another 6 months. What if the market falls suddenly, like how it fell now? Some 15-20 percentage market drop because of whatever reasons. And let's say this large and small cap, mid cap, and all, like mid and small cap has a maximum brunt always. So they have taken a big hit. So almost like 20 percentage is gone. So I am planning for that expense. Today's expense of 1 crore after 10 years could be even 1.7 crores or 1.8 crores. Okay. I have almost closely achieved it also. Let's say in 9 or 10 years, I have achieved some 1.7 crores or 1.8 crores also. Okay. But I'm keeping the money in that same mid cap fund or a large and mid cap fund until 6 months to go for the goal. And what if suddenly some 15-20% market drop happens, just like how it happened now? What is going to happen? 20 percentage of 1.8 crores. Can you guys believe how much is that going to be? It's going to be 35, 36 lakhs, correct? If that goes off from your corpus, then how much of an effect it will have on your mental peace? How much of your effect it will have on the future of your own child? What if you are not able to arrange that money in that short time period? So you have to do asset rebalancing. What is this asset rebalancing? I have a goal which is 10 years away from now. At 7 years or 8 years, I take a close look at my goal sheet. Okay. Whether if I'm at 70, 80 percentage achievement also, I have to plan in two phases. The first phase is from 0 to 7 years in some high risk asset classes. The last phase, which is from 7 to 3 years, is in some low risk asset classes, which is like in a balanced advantage fund, equity savings fund, some kind of a conservative hybrid fund, where the returns could be 8 or 9%, but it will give me stability. It will not give a market drop in a very big manner, right? So how do you do this? So you go and plan for first 7 years into this high risk or the high return fund, and then last 3 year planning from the start itself, you are doing in that low risk funds. This is how you have to separate. You have to bring this as two different parts. It's like two drivers covering a distance which is for, like, let's say someone is choosing to drive from Chennai to Mumbai. Okay, it's about 1,500 kilometers. Let's say you are going in a car, few of your friends, there are about 4 or 5 people that are going. It's a big car. Let's say it's a Innova Krista. Okay, so there are about 4 or 5 people going in the car. How do you plan this asset rebalancing so that there is no one driver that is getting burnt out? They share. They say that, okay, first 400 kilometers, 300 kilometers you drive. Likewise, you, depending upon who is driving capacity or the nature of driving, depending upon how each person drives, you split the journey between the different drivers. Likewise, you split the goal journey between the different drivers of these asset classes. I want to drive the first 7 years of journey using a high risk and a high return because I have 7 years of time frame. The next 3 years, I want to go to a safe driver because I need to reach my destination. I have made my planning in a way that if I'm in this other 3 years in this safe risk fund also, I will be able to achieve the goal. That is called asset rebalance. Only when you have the knowledge of the products, only when you have the knowledge of your risk profile, only when you understand the cyclical nature of the market, only when you go through these motions as an investor or advisor advising multiple people, you will be able to get this. Experience brings you this. There is a very popular saying that experience is a comb which you get in hand after you have lost all your hair. A lot of the times in life, we realize things after things have gone wrong, right? But that's not the way we can afford to do that in a financial goal plan. We have to have everything in place. We have to do everything correct so that we are able to achieve it for ourselves. We are able to achieve that for our client. So this asset rebalancing, a lot of people tend to miss this. A lot of people don't understand this. A lot of people misunderstand this also. Not understanding is one thing. They misunderstand it. So all of this you get. Asset rebalancing, trust me, is one of the key components. It's like your spine in your body. This asset rebalancing is the spine of financial based planning. So understanding of financial products, review of goals. We need to keep reviewing them from time to time, right? So that is called the review of goals. Okay. So why do you need a financial planner for this? Like I chose to do CFP because I'm an investor first and then an advisor or whatever. I manage my own money. So why did I do CFP? Because for me to get an understanding from a very formal environment of financial planning, from a formal environment of understanding the products, from the formal environment of understanding the mathematics behind. Like, okay, so you can go to Google, you can always put SIP calculator. But what if I can do that on my own? What if I want to keep looking at it from different angles, different dimensions, different asset classes, high risk asset class, low risk asset class, gold as an asset class, real estate as an asset class? How can I do this? Only when I have exposure. Even after having the exposure, I still read for every day 1 to 2 hours. I read Money Control, I read Mint, I read Economic Times, I read Business Control. I don't watch TV channels for CNBC and the stock markets. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't watch. It's a very personal preference. But I read a lot of these things in my mobile. You can see the Money Control and EP on my home screen apps. So there are the frequently used apps. I still read them 1 to 1.5 hours a day. You have to understand how the market moves. You have to understand the trends. There are new trends like investing in gold. There are new trends into investing in real estate. There are new trends in passive investing. There are new trends in even investing into ETF, exchange traded funds, which are also into debt funds. So you have to understand all this. It's a constantly evolving journey. It's like standing on a treadmill. Can you stand, keep the treadmill on, and can you stand still? This is what it is. The financial journey is always on a treadmill. If you're not evolving, if you're not moving with it, you'll be thrown out. So just imagine a treadmill at 6 or 7 kilometers per hour and you're standing still there. What will happen? The belt will move, you'll be thrown out. It's the same here. Whether you are an investor, whether you are an aspiring professional, you have to keep yourself updated. You have to have that love for the subject. You have to have that romance with the subject in terms of understanding it from all the dimensions. Only when you do it, you can help yourself. As I said, everyone needs money. Everyone needs their money to be planned in a good manner. Whatever be your profession, name any profession. Is there a profession that operates without money? Is there any profession where the person doesn't want to understand how his or her money has to be planned in a better way? This can happen only through a advisor if you are completely in a different profession, and this can happen for your own money, for your own self, even if you are a financial professional, only when you bring that knowledge and convert that into wisdom. How do you do that? You have to get into the practical aspect of it. Practice what you preach. There was a small kid whose mother took him to Gandhiji, said that Gandhiji, Bapu, aap inko advise karo, please advise him not to eat sugar. Gandhiji said, please come after a week. She went. He said, okay, please come after one more week. Then she took him again to Gandhi. Then after the second week, he said, Beta, please don't eat much of sugar. Or please try to avoid as much of sugar as possible. The mother, after sending the kid out, she asked, Gandhi, you could have told me, Bapu, you could have told this 2 weeks earlier. Why did you take 2 weeks for this? He said, at the time when you came to me, I was also eating a lot of sugar. So I had to first cut that. In the first week when you came to me, I was still eating sugar. So I had to cut it even further. So now I have cut it to a level that I'm able to preach what I practice. So as a financial advisor, you don't need to have multiple lakhs, multiple crores of money. You can start an SIP with even 500. You can start a goal even with the size of 1 lakh rupees. You can start a goal even with the size of 50,000. Practice what you preach. Only then you will understand it. How do you approach it? How are you able to define it? How are you able to evaluate the need for it? How are you able to choose the products you want to invest in? Just imagine, even if you have to invest 500 rupees in a product, you are going to read about 10 different funds. Trust me, friends, when you are going to invest your 500 rupees every month, you're going to read about 10 different funds. You're going to talk to 5 different people. You're going to do that analysis. This is what I say, practice what you preach. So then it becomes easier for you if you understand this journey, through your own emotions, through your own eyes, through your own dimensions. How can this happen? Your wisdom, your knowledge can convert into wisdom. But first, I have to attain that knowledge. So this whole aspect of guidance, the whole aspect of profit rebalancing, the whole aspect of moving the assets from higher risk to lower risk, the whole aspect of understanding the cyclical nature of the market, the whole aspect of understanding different instruments which are available. Can you imagine? There are about 40 to 50 asset management companies in the mutual fund industry space. It's like, just imagine, the door is so big, it opens into a room and there is a buffet which is going on. Okay. And there are about 1,500 food items which are kept in that single room. It's about like 1 lakh square feet, such a big space. And you are entering there. Someone says that, sir, you can eat whatever you want, and you are only going to pay for what you are eating. There is no entry fee. Now, as a person, can you go and taste all the 1,500 food items? No. You have to choose what is good for you. You have to choose what you like. You have to choose what can you afford. The same is with mutual funds. There are about 40 to 50 different AMCs. There are about 1,500 food items that are kept in display. You have to choose what works for you. I cannot choose basis what is the food counter, but the other guy is going just because he is known to me, or just because he seems intelligent, just because he is going there. Should I go there? The answer is no. I can go there only if it suits me. I can go there if that's what I need. So this understanding of choosing the right items from 1,500 buffet spread is what is the success of a financial advice, for which you need to have the knowledge. And when you put that into practice, that becomes wisdom, right? So you are the friend, philosopher, guide, mentor in this investment journey, because it's a lot of emotions. Trust me, friends, financial planning needs almost 60 to 65 percentage of emotional balance. You can have the knowledge, you can have the drive, you understand everything, but still you need to have that emotional balance to be successful, right? So asset rebalancing, booking profits, guiding to the right products, just like I said, guiding to the right food counter. So if you are with an advisor, he's going to come with you. He is going to ask you certain questions with which he will say, hey, we can go to that area of food counter. That is going to suit you. Hey, let's go to this. It might suit you, but you have enough money. Let's analyze that. Do we really need it? Let's analyze that. And then go to that food counter. So likewise, he can handhold, he or she can handhold you through this journey. This is the beauty. And India is an evolving market. Next 10 years belongs to us. If you're not investing today, if you're not investing in Indian market today, or if you're not participating from a career, if you are interested, if you are interested to become a photographer, I'm not saying it should not, but if you have an interest towards financial advisory space, you are truly in a sweet spot because the next decade belongs to us. So it's a big upswing that's going to come up, right? So that is it about the financial aspects or the financial planning. Okay. So how am I able to talk from the aspect of a client? How am I able to talk from the aspect of my own self? How am I able to understand the financial mathematics behind? Like for example, let's say I kind of someone says I'm sitting with a client. Someone says that they need 10 lakh rupees. Okay, and they need it in 7 years. Okay. They say that they want to invest in a fund which is with 15% of annual returns. They are asking me what is their annual contribution which they have to do to achieve this. Annual contribution means yearly once. So since I'm a CFP, I just show them using this Excel, right, in front of their own eyes using this function called PMT. The rate is 15%. The 7 period is the rate time period by which they can achieve PV. I'm not putting any lump sum investment. What is the FE? I want to achieve 10 lakh rupees. Okay, I'm starting this journey today. So how do I calculate this? With a click of button, I can say that you have to contribute, sir, 78,574 every year for 7 years. If you are investing this into a 15% fund, you can achieve 10 lakhs. I was doing this earlier as an investor. But how am I able to bring the mathematical angle to this today with the click of a button? After I understand the requirement, it took me 2 or 3 seconds, right? If I have to do the monthly for this, so how do I calculate the monthly? So I just have to put some technical aspect of 15, 12, converting the interest rate and then divide it by 12. And then I have to say PMT, and then this is my rate, and what is the time period is 7 years into 12 months because I'm going to do 12 months of contribution. There is no PV. And what is the FE that I have to achieve is 10 lakh rupees. One. So I can say, sir, you can do by 6,975 every month also. How am I able to do this financial mathematical angle? I was an investor even earlier. I'm an investor even now, but my horizon is widened. How? It's because of CFP, which is called Certified Financial Planners, which is issued by the Financial Standards Planning Standards Board in the US. And we as ICOFP, we are a pioneer in the CFP education in India. In fact, I would say we were the first to bring CFP education into India. We were the first education provider for CFP in India. And even today, we are one of the largest and the oldest and a very true sensible. And I have a dual advantage. I used to be a student in ICO. Okay, I did my CFP from here. So whatever I say is not from just from the institute or the college point of view. I've been a student here. I've been a mentor here. I've been even today I'm a mentor for a lot of fast track students who appear directly for level 4. I'm a senior faculty. I take classes in weekends. I operate from Chennai, but I'm part of the college. I'm very truly privileged to be part of this family of ICOC because only you can feel this only when you get on board. So I onboarded there as a student. They embraced me. They saw the passion in me. They saw the interest which I had. They embraced me. And that is what life always appreciates and rewards you with rewards if you're sincere. Right? So let's look at what is this CFP is all about. Okay. So it's the world's topmost certification in personal finance. There's no doubt about this. I've done this myself. I'm a CFP. I did it in 7 or 8 months. And in the year 2023, I was nominated for being the CFP student of the year, which means I finished as a top 5 in CFP across India. Okay, so it's the world's topmost certification in personal finance. There's no doubt about it. It's recognized in 28 different countries. Okay, it is a 4-in-1 certification because it has a lot of dimensions to it. And whether you are a student, professional, independent financial advisor, banker, insurance agent, or MFD, or you are just an investor yourself. I started studying for CFP being an investor myself. I've been investing in the markets from last 9-10 years, as Kanaya said in the initial thing. I have a 3x returns also. I was doing a lot of things which were being recommended by this course in terms of asset allocation and stuff, but I wanted to formalize my understanding, which is why I did the CFP, right? And it's a personal finance and a wealth focused curriculum. The curriculum's focus is predominantly on personal finance. You have programs like CFA, which is more of the fund manager oriented thing, but that's a much tougher course, and it's a course which has a different dimension to it. But CFP is 100% focused on how you are able to manage personal finance, which is one to one with individual clients. Yeah, and it takes lesser amount of time. It takes about 6 to 12 months. As I said, I finished in 7 or 8 months, right? So completely online. You don't have to visit the campus. You don't have to be in Delhi to do this. I did this program in Chennai. I continue to operate being in Chennai. I take my classes being in Chennai. I took my classes. I take my classes today. I took my classes, which means I was taking them as a student also before 2 years through the Zoom session. So it is completely digital in terms of the interface. There is no challenge with that. And to join the program, you just have to be a 10 or plus 2, 18 years of age. No restrictions of stream. You can be a BA student, you can be a sociology student, you can be a history student, you can be an English lit student, you can be anyone. There is no restriction for you to join the program and clear the levels. But after you clear the level, for you to get the CFP badge, you have to do an internship of at least 1 year under a CFP, or you have to work in BFSI sector, which is banking, financial services, and insurance BFSI for a minimum of 3 years. But once you clear all the 4 levels in the project, that score and the result is valid for 5 years, right? So within that 5 years, you can choose to do either one of these two to get your final certification. To join, to enroll, to write the exam, to clear the exam, you don't need this. After you have cleared all the exams, it's valid for 5 years. The score is valid for 5 years. You can do either one of these to get CFP certified. Just only because they want to see that the person going into the market, advising people or joining some wealth management firms, that person has to be responsible enough to handle the client's money. That's the only expectation they have, right? So as I said, investment planning specialist. So if I did whatever I did in the Excel within 2 or 3 seconds, that's because of this PFM course, which is called PFM, Personal Finance Management, Time Value of Money. Then talking about the different asset classes is investment planning, talking about taxation, talking about retirement, talking about estate planning, talking about insurance needs, how to plan for insurance. You get all this as a very, very comprehensive coverage in CFP. Trust me on this, because I've been a student here myself. I did for my own understanding as an investor. If there is one key takeaway from this course, if I have to say, is on the asset management through which I understood asset allocation. What is the importance of asset allocation? Today, if I look at my portfolio, 50% is equity based products, 50% is in PPF and debt mutual funds. And what is it gives me that cushion to take a lot of risk on the equity based products, because all of my equity based products are in mid cap, small cap. Even a PMS which I'm invested into is a contra fund which predominantly invest in mid cap and small cap. How am I able to take that risk? Because I have this cushion. If I have this cushion, I can take that risk. Money wins money in stock market. Money wins money in financial markets. Money wins money in financial landscape. You have to understand money. You have to understand the investments. You have to understand the products. You have to understand the volatility. You have to be patient, disciplined, knowledge. Then you are a winner. Trust me on this. There is no secret recipe for this. I'm telling you, I can tell you openly. You have Ankur Bariku talking about this. You are hearing Rachna Rani days of the world talking about it. There is no open secret, and there is no magic to this also, guys. Friends, don't imagine and don't dream that okay, you start something today and you're going to become an instant sensation next month or next day. It's not possible. It takes time. This is a very patient exercise that you have to go through and approach it every step by step, like a baby step, I would say. It's like taking baby steps in understanding and acquiring this knowledge through the certification and implementing that in your real life. It's a process, it's a journey. Enjoy that. This provides you a complete dimension which a professional requires, which an individual requires, right? So why ICOP? So I always tell people, because I have a lot of people who speak to me. They want to understand. I always tell them, see, you can think 10 times or 15 times on what is your current situation in terms of studying CFP. Think about it. 5 times, 10 times, no problem. But there is a huge opportunity. But the moment you have made the decision that you want to do CFP, then there is no further question. Just call Krishan or his team and enroll by paying 10,000. Because I have not seen a better place beyond ICOFP to do CFP in India. Because you have all this, you have the faculties, you have the live recording classes, you have the recording of the classes which you have attended, you have mock tests, you have online notes which is updated, you have practice sheets, assignment sheets, you have WhatsApp groups that are clarifying your doubts, you have exam group when you're registering for the exam, you have guidance at every single stage. And you know what is the best thing about this? Beyond everything, there is a human touch. Starting from our chief mentor, Vani Bajaj ma'am, till our last faculty, we are very, very specific about how we are humanly attached to our fellow candidates to become a part of our family. There is always a hand holding. You can be 18 years old, you can be 50 years old, you can be 40 years old, you can be a homemaker, you can be a professional, you can be a banker, you can be in insurance sector, you can be a science student, you can be an engineering student, whatever be it, you have become a part of this family. There will be a hand holding. There will be a care which is given. Your queries will be addressed. Your aspects of individual mentoring will also be taken care of at different points during this journey. You can just pick up the phone and speak to a faculty who has an understanding of the program. Speak to someone like me. Speak to someone like me, who's also my colleague. Someone like that. So you have that option. So if I have to talk about the infrastructure, and there is a lot of infrastructure which we have invested by spending multiple crores. Like in terms of the digital infrastructure, we have the best, the world-class infrastructure that any institute could offer. But beyond all that, I would say the human touch is the winning factor for me. Personally, this is my personal opinion. Okay, so we have a record of reaching very, very high passing percentage because we understand the exam structure, we understand how the questions are being asked, we mentor the students accordingly, we mentor the students according to their individual needs in terms of their background, age, and understanding of the subject, right? So this is our faculty list. Obviously, I'm a part of this. So we also have, they're all very, very experienced professionals, including myself, in their respective fields, right? So we also have a Dean, Madhu Sinha ma'am. She sits out of Bombay. She had won in the last FPSB meet the faculty of the educator of the year. Educator means the faculty. The faculty of the year within the CFP fraternity. Okay. So you have the virtual live classes, the e-learning class, the recorded videos, all of that. You have an e-learning program. You also have a live classes program. In live classes, you can ask your doubts with a tutor and there during a live class. In your e-learning program, you will be given access to a set of videos. You will watch them and you will learn. You will be sent the books. You will still get the practice questions of assignments, whatever sheets or whatever notes that are uploaded. All of that you continue to get. And this is the difference between a live class and this thing. The pre-recorded videos will be given for e-learning, which have a separate batch of videos which is being provided to them. And in live classes, you interact with the faculty and you also get the recordings of your own sessions which you have attended for your later reference. And for e-learning, the video access is being given for their separate set of videos which is being made for each topic. That's the e-learning, right? So India's most comprehensive study materials, because since we are so old in this system, we understand what are the changes, what are the different topics, what are the different models, and what are the different trends by which the questions are being asked. So we understand all of it. Like as I said, world-class LMS, case studies for practice, assignments, doubt clearing sessions, WhatsApp groups, personalized mentors, online mock tests. You have everything under the sun to be able to clear the exam to us. A sense of human emotions and that human touch, which is what I would call is a key differentiator between ICOFP and others in the marketplace, right? So this is the board fee, and this has got nothing to do with us. You will pay and transact directly with FPSB India, which is Financial Planning Standard Board. Okay, so FPSB registration is 18,000. You will pay directly to the board. We have nothing to do with it. The FPSB e-book total of 32,500 from level 1 to 3. Okay, and FPSB exam fee, which is you will register for exam every cycle you register, there is an exam fee. So they have given you the exam fee. There is a financial plan assessment which you will submit in the last level, and a specialist certification fee after you are clearing all the 4 levels with the project and you get the certificate. All of these fees, my dear friends, whether you're studying on your own, however you're studying for CFP, this is the board fee that you are going to pay to the board. Okay, can I say? Board is Financial Planning Standard Board, which is the issuing accrediting authority for this program for CFP. So as I said, fast track is another stream. In fact, I am the chief mentor for the fast track students, where these students come straight away to level 4. Okay, so you have the eligibility criteria which is being given here, that you can be a CFA, you can be a chartered accountant, you can be a certified public accountant, and you have a lot of conditions here, and you need to also have a work experience. Then you don't have to go through level 1, 2, 3 and all. You can straight away go to level 4. You have to give one exam, submit a project, and you will be CFP. But please don't worry about this eligibility. If you are someone who can fit into this, you can inform our team. They can reach out to you. Don't have that doubts that whether I'm eligible for or not. Before you enrolling itself, we can do a soft check with the board whether you as a candidate is eligible for fast track or not. Then you can enroll with us. We can do the soft check for you. You can get in touch with Christian. You can get in touch with Christian's team, and you can get that verified. So don't be in these doubts whether I'm eligible for or not. We will have a very comprehensive assistance and guidance to help you to understand whether you will be eligible for it or not. Okay, I'm just giving you this as a brief overview, okay, in terms of the eligibility, because we might not be able to go case by case. Although I know a lot of you will have the question, sir, whether I am eligible for, the answer is please get in touch with Christian. He will help you achieve that soft check with the board to understand whether you are eligible or not. All right. So this is again the first FPSB board fee for fast track. So there is a fast track validation fee which is 5,000, which is they call it as a checking your documents to be able to certify or to be able to give you the approval to be part of the fast track program. And there is a registration fee, there is an exam plus financial assessment fee, and the final CFP certification. Again, you're going to pay this to the board. You're not going to make even a single penny of any of these payments. Even your transaction is going to be with the board directly. You will be having a website using that My FPSB. So through that, you will be making these payments through your credit cards, and the beneficiary will be directly FPSB. You have nothing to do with this. This is board fee. Okay. Now, this is the ICOFP, which, as I said, for virtual learning, which is the live classes, the cost is about 60,000 rupees if you enroll with us for all the 4 levels. If you are enrolling level by level, then it is 20K for each of the levels. I wouldn't subscribe to this because it's going to cost me more money. So I can take the 60K, which is going to cost lesser money, and also gives me the peace of mind that I'm with the right education provider from start till end. Then there is this e-learning, which is at 45, and fast track pathway, which is at 30, because you are going to be doing only the last level. So this is e-learning where you will be given a separate set of videos without the live classes. Even here, we are trying to help people from time to time by arranging some sessions. But in virtual learning, you have a straight every class. You have weekday batches, you have weekend batches, you have a live tutor-based classes on Zoom, where you can interact with the tutor, understand the doubts. Also, you can understand by someone else's doubts. Also, you can get some of your concepts getting clear, right? So these are the different programs that we offer: virtual learning, e-learning, and fast track for the regular pathway, right? And the fast track pathway as well. This is the cost. So here, as we speak today, we held this webinar as a part of the closure of the financial year. So there is a special offer if you are enrolling for this program today, which if I were you, after hearing to such a comprehensive understanding of what is the importance and relevance of such a program in today's Indian market conditions, I would go for it. If you enroll today by paying the 10,000 rupees, because the rest of the payment you can do the buy NPL, which is buy now, pay later, which is what we started this session, right? But this is a very sensible purchase. You're not doing any aspirational purchase or just because of your fantasies or desires or your, just to give you that craving, right? This is not a craving based purchase. This is a necessity based purchase. This can change your life. This can bring a new dimension into your life. This can make you a completely new professional, completely new person because of the certification in terms of the change that it can bring, right? So today, if you subscribe to this, you have a flat 15% discount on these fees, which I mentioned. So there is a discount of until even 9,000 rupees on the program fee if you are registering today, because there is a flat 15% discount. And you also have this 33,250 that we talked about, 32,500 on the ebook. We will also give you a 50% discount coupon code. Although you will transact with this with the board directly, the website will ask, please enter a coupon code, just like you have in every purchases in every website, right? So we will supply you with a coupon code which can give you a discount of almost, it will bring your price half. So from about 33K, you can get those e-content, which is they call e-content, because you have to compulsorily purchase that e-content when you're registering for exams. Okay. And we will provide you with a code. Why am I saying this so much of confidence? Because while I was a student, I used to call Jyotsna. There used to be an academic coordinator. I used to call Jyotsna and say, Jyotsna, please give me the code for this. So she always provides me with a discount code when I'm registering for level 1, level 2, level 3. I always used to enter that code and get 50% discount. So I'm very confident about this aspect. I'm confident about every aspect, but I have gone through and experienced these aspects myself as a student, right? And you also get the NISM 5AE learning videos and quick learning courses, which have a monetary value from an external perspective. But we also have a combination of soft benefits and a very hard benefits in terms of the flat 15% and the soft benefits in terms of some educational content that you can have an access to. Okay, so these two are the very hardcore financial, monetarily measurable benefits if you subscribe today for the program, which I think is a very it's a very compelling thing. Like it's very, it's just not tempting, but it's a very compelling thing. There is always a difference between a temptation and a compulsion. If you are an investor, if you are an MFT, if you are a young professional, or if you are a young graduate who wants to try to choose a profession for your life, CFP is one of the best ways to go if you want to be in the financial advisory space, right? And as I said, you can think about CFP, you can introspect, but the moment you think CFP, then ICOP comes into play. And you join our regular pathway, we bring an industry first offer wherein your final CFP certification will be on us. We will pay for your certification, or you will get a refund of your certification, which is this fee, which I showed you earlier, which is that 10,500, which you will pay to the board, you will get a refund of that as well, right? If you have doubts about more about pricing structure, the offers and stuff, please keep in mind about this flat 15% and this 50%. This is a very, very, very compelling offer. Trust me on this. If you want more understanding on how this offer works, how can you enroll to this program, how can you avail the discount by enrolling today by paying 10,000 rupees, you can always reach out to our, the advisors for the CFP program. They are being headed by Bhushan, right? So they are very able people. They are very well experienced. They understand the different questions that the students will have in their mind, right? So you can save up to 9,000 rupees on the CFP study fee, about 16,250 on the content fee, and save with 5,000 on. Even if you say that, sir, I am not into this 5A and this quick learning course, no problem, sir. You are still going to get a discount of up to 9,000 rupees basis that 15% discount. And trust me, this 16,250, the course content fee discount of 50% is something which is very amazing, right? So I am sure each of you will have your questions in terms of this thing. We'll try to take some questions, but if it is regarding whether you are eligible for fast track, if it is regarding some individual questions of the program, then you could get it addressed on one-to-one basis through Krishan and his team, right? We will take this question. You also have a very interesting BNPL, which is buy now, pay later. This is what we started with, as I said earlier, with the 0% interest. So we are not luring you into wrong purchase. We are not luring you with the high interest. We are luring you, or we are inviting you to become a part of a family or a fraternity, which is very compulsive for changing your life in a positive manner by also having the offer at a 0% interest. So you can just pay it in 6 EMIs. So this is the contact number, right? 9711437779. You can also show your interest in the chat box. Please take a picture of this if you want to get this number. Okay. So that is it about it. So Kanya, can we take some questions here, please?
Sure, sir. So I can see a couple of questions in the chat box. What is the duration of regular pathway program? Mrinalji, I believe you have also joined earlier. The duration, so we have two pathway. One is I'm talking about the regular pathway. There are two more to study. One is weekend classes and one is the weekdays classes. Weekdays classes takes around 7 to 8 months to complete your CFP certification. With a weekend, it takes around 10 to 11 months to complete your CFP.
Okay, Shaili, let me answer your question. I'm a MFD right now. How CFP would help me in increasing my income? As you know, Shaili, there is a lot of MFDs which are in the market, and there are a lot of MFDs who are attached to bigger distributors like NJ and stuff like that. You have MFDs in even very, very small towns. So, what is the differentiation factor? How can you understand the different products? As I said, as I gave you the example of that big buffet hall, how am I able to help my clients choose what is the right products? This can be done with the help of CFPs. This can be done basis your understanding of how the asset allocation can work, how the asset allocation can work for your individual client. You have hundreds of MFDs. What is the unique thing? What is the differentiation factor? How will more clients come to you? How are you able to give quality advice? It is because of certifications like this. So that can help you increase income. It is not that today you did CFPs, on tomorrow can I get 100 more clients? Shaili, I'm sure you are experienced enough to understand that it doesn't work like that. But your quality of advice goes up. So the good word of mouth is going to spread, and then you are eventually going to be within 6 months to 1 year, you're going to be an MFD with a lot of value add and a differentiation which can help you have more income. Yeah. Yes, Umesh, you can complete in about 8 to 9 months. I am sitting live in front of you. Yes, of course, Salosh, you can, as I told earlier, yes, we will have questions about the individual eligibility criteria. You can always reach out and get a soft check to Krishan and his team. So please do that. And Krishan has already shared his email ID, krishang@icop.org. For fast track, Devesh, I think the fees is 35,000, but Kanya, we are offering a discount on that 35, right?
Yes.
If you are enrolling today. HEMA. Currently, I'm pursuing BBA in finance, preparing for CAT 25. What will be the best time for me to start preparation for CFP? You can do it side by side because CAT is, you will have a lot of aptitude and it's going to be a very comprehensive program. So CFP will not be that taxing on you if you're preparing to that level of complexity into CAT, because CAT is very comprehensive and difficult, right? So if you're already in that role, if you're in that momentum, you can enroll now and enroll for the weekday classes or the weekend classes depending upon your availability, and then you can kind of get this done with. Yes, you can hold a MFD profile. Shaili, you can continue to be an MFD. CFP, you are studying for your own consumption. I, as an investor, can study CFP. Shaili, there is no thing. What is the differentiation factor in terms of you being able to cater to clients in a better manner? CFP can provide with that. You can continue to be an MFP. Even a CA can do CFP. He can continue to be a CA. To his clients, he is talking about the products. To your clients who are coming to you as an MFD, you are talking about the different products. You are talking about the asset allocation. You are talking about the risk profile. You are still an MFD. At the core, at the front, you are the MFD. You are the knowledge through the CFP. So there is no conflict of interest here. You can continue to be an MFD. You expect placement assistance for fast track course. Of course, Krishan and his team can talk about it in an individual call because it's a very individual based need. They can understand your profile and they can say what kind of a placement assistance that they can provide. Please get in touch with Krishan and his team. Yes. Yes, Devesh, that's a very good thing to do in terms of CA with 25 years of experience. You're looking for making a career. Of course, you can do. You can start with your known people to start with through the CFP. You can kind of begin to give those advices. You can turn a new leaf into your life. You can bring that additional interesting dimension into your life. You can bring a sense of purpose to your day to day. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up with a sense of purpose, right? So that is what we need in one stage of life. You can do that through the CFP. If you are nearing the retirement, you don't have the pressure of money, but you want to enjoy the whole journey, right? Salosh, if you are already a working person, if you have a graduation, then you don't need, like, you need that only if you're a non-BFSA sector. So if you are doing an internship under someone also, it can be a remote internship, Salosh. It is not required that you have to go to their office on a day-to-day basis. Even if you are working in a non-BFSA sector, you can speak to a CFP, okay, who are available in that CFP directory, which will be given to you in that FPSP's login itself. You can speak to someone. You can work on a remote based internship also. Please reach out to our team, Christian and his team. They can also guide you in terms of how to get those remote internship opportunities, or if possible within our infrastructure itself. But that's a very case to case thing. So you could get in touch with Christian, tell him where are you from, which city. He can kind of guide you in terms of how to go about this thing. But internship is possible on a remote. It's not required that you have to go to their office on a day-to-day basis, right? Yeah. Okay. So, Kanaya, do we want to take any audio-based questions? Or we
So
are
friends, if you have any question, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you one by one. You can ask your query question directly from Vibu sir. Yes, Umesh ji, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
yes,
Yes,
Umesh.
sir.
Yeah, one question which you asked, which I'm repeating here again. You did mention that you can complete all the three exams or the levels in 8 to 9 months time. Does that mean that the exams are conducted every 3 months?
Umesh, I think you'll have to speak little louder, Umesh, because we are able to hear you, but not with so much of clarity.
Am I clear now?
Yeah. Please continue with your question.
You did mention one can complete the course in 9 months time, 8 to 9 months time, which you did.
Yes.
Does that mean that for each level you have an exam every 2 to 3 months time?
You have an exam for every level every month, sir.
Okay.
Every month in the third week, you have the exam. You can register for the exam basis your level of preparation. So you have exam every month. Only for the last level, you have exam once in 2 months. For the first three levels, you have exam which is happening between the 20th and 25th of the month, for which the calendar will be released earlier. In terms of exam level 1, one specific date, level 2, one specific date, level 3, one specific date, and exam level 4 also one specific date, except level 4, which happens once in 2 months. I have a exam of level 4 coming up in April. After that, it will come in June. But all the other three levels, you have exam happening every month.
Okay. You have any face-to-face offline classes in Mumbai?
As of now, offline classes we don't have. But if you are based out of Delhi, then you can always reach out to our campus. Go there for an understanding in terms of understanding the program structure better. We also have a team sitting there. So if you are based out of Delhi, you can always reach out to our campus. But as of now, offline based thing, like because we have students from pan India, from different cities, right? So we don't have the offline program running at this point in time.
Okay, that you did mention the internship which I had asked you also earlier on the questionnaire. How do you, from whom do you get the internship? For 3 years, you did mention that.
3 years, what?
The internship for 3 years after the
Internship is 1 year, sir. You have to be either in a BFSI for 3 years or internship is only for 1 year. So internship is not for 3 years. You can take an online. So if you want more clarity in terms of the internship, the duration is 1 year. The modality is between you and the CFP under whom you are doing the internship. I know a lot of people taking online or a remote base. Even today, people with regular jobs are working on remote basis. No, nice. So this internship is okay. So you can take. So it depends upon how are you able to kind of agree with your CFP with whom you are doing that. But internship is only for 1 year. It's not for 3 years.
So the certificate will be awarded only after completion of the internship.
Sorry.
The certificate will be awarded after the completion of the internship.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But your score is valid for 5 years. Yeah.
Does
P.
it mean
Jain.
that?
Yeah. Is this recognized by SEBI?
It is not, sir. If you're asking about it from an angle of RIA, it is not, but it doesn't stop you from advising, because as long as I have that understanding with the client on an individual basis in terms of client advisory, what is stopping?
Okay.
So
And secondly,
if I'm an MFD also, I can still advise. As I told Shailesh now, like even if I'm being an MFD also, like if I'm a CA also, I can advise my clients as long as I have an understanding with the client that this is what is my certification, and I'm not an RIA. If you are explicitly mentioning it to your client and you're not getting into a very wrong side of these things, so what is the problem? It's an understanding between you and your client. You can advise the client. Like Prashant Kishore is advising clients for elections. So is he certified by the central government of India? It's not, right. Like he's a consultant. He has an agreement with the clients. He's able to advise. So if your client is very specific that you have to be an RIA, you cannot. But if you have an understanding and if you have able to kind of convey what your understanding is about the financial markets and investments, why do I say that it's not the thing? Because even myself, I have an excess of 25 years of experience. I cannot become RA because it's too complicated. I have to have a master's in finance. I have to be in a BFSI sector. That's why you have only 900 or 1,000 RAs. What is the value
right.
of being an RA in today's market? Because the conditions are so cumbersome. Even I chose not to become an RA. When I say even I, it's not because I'm something superior, but because I'm practically into this from that sense.
And is this certification we need to renew periodically?
Every 1 year, but you don't need to write any exam for it.
Okay, only pay a fees and
Yes.
get that. Okay,
Yes,
what is the cost? How much it costs?
10,500 is the renewal.
Okay, thank you.
Virendra, passing percentage is 60.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Kanaya, any further questions?
No, I cannot see any questions. Yes, in the Q&A section, there are a couple of questions. I have completed NSM 10A 10B certification. I'm currently undergoing an internship. What will be the benefit of taking CFP? Mary is asking, would you like to take this question, Vibu sir?
Whose question is this?
Q&A section. Just click on the Q&A section.
No, but is it regarding some qualification criteria or something of that sort? Because then they can get in touch with Christian, right?
No, I have completed NSM 10A 10B certification, and I'm currently undergoing an internship. What will be the benefit of taking CFP?
Benefit of CFP is you're expanding your knowledge, because 10A, 10B is okay, like the NISM, but if you want to get more understanding about a personal finance angle, like from an individual client's point of view, CFP is one good top shop for personal finance. I can say that very surely. Understanding the client's risk profile, asset allocation, asset rebalancing, understanding their insurance needs. It's a very comprehensive personal finance program going through the different stages of a same client from the age of 30 till 80 or 90 until their life end of their life. So CFP is a tool which will enable you getting specialized in some of the aspects or any of the aspects or all of the aspects with regards to personal finance during that entire journey. Yeah, DS, you can write exam from home. Yes, you can do that. You can write exam from NSC center. You can write exam from home. You have the option to do that.
Virendraji, to add on this thing, what is the passing percentage of CFP? So the industry, although the board has not revealed what is the exact passing percentage, but with the years of experience, and we have seen that this is around the average passing percentage of the industry is around 50 to 60%. But if I talk about the ICFP, this has close to 80% in last 6 months. You can go and check on our social media channel where we have posted with the student pics. So that you can verify from there. No, sir, there is no any age limit. You can join even the age of 70 or 75.
If you just want to go through the course and don't want to write exam, then what it shall cost? It will cost you the ICOFP fee, sir. Which is that 60,000 with a 15% discount. There is no board fee that you will pay. There is no negative marking. I am answering VG Viren about the cost, which is the cost which you will pay us. If you do not want to write the exam, then there is no board registration that you have to do. You're just doing it for your own knowledge. You can do that if you want. Okay. Okay, Kanaya. So it's good. We have no further questions. Then
Yes, yes. So we have already covered all the questions. So it's time to wind up the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time and attending this webinar. I hope you have added some value to your knowledge. And thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Vibu sir, for this marvelous explanation and the topic that we have chosen. Now signing off. Thank you.
so thank you all. Thanks all for attending on a weekend. I hope it's been something of a value to your day. Okay. I look forward to seeing you all in ICOFP very soon. Please do get in touch with Krishan and his team. Thank you.
So I'll just quickly write the contact number in the chat box. Please copy from here. If you need any further assistance, please call on this number 9711 437779. This is a number. You can copy it from here and you can talk to my team. They can help you, guide you with all the details required to become a certified financial planner. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.